Eid Mubarak to all you wonderful people out there. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz and bring you a special once again on Eid. And this is of course a very special edition of Sports Extra. As we do every Eid, we introduce you to some very special people. We get to celebrate Eid with you because you're part of the PTV World family as well, and we truly honor that. And I think it's just been a great moment, hasn't it been? Because Pakistan is on a high at the moment, and as we see, this Eid was very special. And I understand that the weather has been a bit tricky, but I'm sure that most of you and most of us have been, had a very harsh routine. But I'm sure that most of us, and including you, have gone through your religious obligation this Eid al-Adha as well, which involves the sacrificing of the animals. But I think the distribution of meat, and then the most favorite part of every Pakistani living in Pakistan and abroad, the consumption of meat. So I understand that the next couple of days we're going to be, very dangerous people when it comes to meat eating. But I'd advise all of you to take it a bit easy and just balance the equation out if you can, because I'm sure that you are planning to spend all the 3 days of Eid with equal enthusiasm and zeal as well. So like I said, a lot of fun, a lot of interesting facts about how each and every one of us celebrate Eid. We've got different customs and traditions at our home and our families. So I think we're going to be talking about that. Time now to introduce you to some very special people. First of all, joining us is someone who happens to be a gynecologist by profession, a doctor, which is an absolutely demanding field. And I was just thinking before the program that this is probably a miracle that we've got someone out from such a hectic profession to join our show as well. So we're very honored to be joined by Dr. Amira Salim. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak.
Walaikum assalam. Eid Mubarak to you also.
Thank you very much. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Thank you very much for joining us. And next up joining us is someone who happens to be a very regular face now on Sports Extra. So I think he needs no introduction. The work he's doing not only for basketball but Olympic sports as well in Pakistan is absolutely unprecedented. And I think I always admire people who have taken up one sport and have given it so much to make sure that it not only progresses but grassroots talent at different levels is recognized as well. And we're very honored to be joined by someone who happens to be a very dear brother as well, Mr. Aujaz Zahoor. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Very well, thank you.
Well, you must be over the moon. Eid on Sports Extra and sitting next to your beautiful wife.
Exactly.
So I think all is done for you.
Absolutely. This has been an exciting day, an eventful day, and we are very excited to be here and be a part of the Eid celebrations with PTV World and the PTV World family.
Thank you very much for joining us as well. And of course, next up we move on to someone who happens to be extremely talented. She's recently been part of the PTV World family, and she's aced everything she's touched so far. And the career trajectory has been absolutely fantastic. And we're very excited that she's joining us as well. And like I said, that there are so many talented people in PTV, and she happens to be one of them as well. The career progress has just been amazing. So we're very honored to be joined by my fellow colleague, Miss Varda. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, Miss Varda Adal Jahangir?
Thank you so much, sir, for having me on show, and Eid Mubarak to you as well. It's been wonderful, and thank you so much for this wonderful introduction.
No, thank you very much for joining us. Varda Adal Jahangir happens to be very talented. She's doing the sports news and some main news as well, and as a newscaster she's certainly terrific right now in PTV World. But thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, sir.
Right, so the first question really becomes very technical, Dr. Saiba. It's women in our households, in our part of the culture, seem to have a very busy first day,
Yes.
considering that the animal is sacrificed, is brought to the home, and then the distribution part kicks off. So is it the same with your family, or as
Yes,
a doctor
it
do
is
you ace
same.
that profession?
No. It's same in our family too. I also distribute the meat, and we also do sacrifice. But at the same time, if we get some emergency call, we have to rush. We have to leave everything over there, and we have to rush to save the patient.
Absolutely.
Because the patient's health is first priority.
Absolutely. And I think doctors are superheroes. We always say that they're wearing a cape, anytime needs be, they'll be there spontaneously. That's the wonderful part of it as well. But Aujaz Zahoor Saab, considering that basketball has been the primary focus, then shifting your focus to the animal and all the responsibilities, how's it been so far?
Well, we have to distribute our time. So the time for today was with family, the sacrifice, the meat distribution. So today was the priority, and it is a religious obligation, so we have to focus on that. But on the other hand, basketball is still there. I think we had a little chat before this program that on the night of 9th, I'm flying out of the country again to officiate at the South Asian Championship for men and women, which is a big event, and I have to kind of supervise the entire event. But again, this is all part of the life now.
But like I said, it's rare to have you in Pakistan these days, isn't it?
Yes, but I try to spend as much time as I have in Pakistan with my family, with my kids, my wife, and also I have my work, which is my priority. But sports is also another priority, so we have to distribute and balance everything.
Well, certainly. Well, I'm going to ask about that balance, whether it's 110% accurate or not, to Dr. Saiba in a bit. I'm sure she's going to answer that question, whether it's been balanced or not. But Varda Adil Jahangir, different Eid for you this time around. You're at work. I understand you belong to the beautiful city of Sialkot. Let me be honest.
Indeed.
And all of us, who are from there really own that city. But Eid away from family and at work is something that most of us have now got accustomed to. But for somebody who's recently joined and to do that, how's it been so far?
It's a mix of emotions, I can say. My amma is literally not happy with that. I'm telling you that she's been concerned about me, that you're not gonna eat well, you're gonna work all day, and she's keep on calling me and making sure that I eat well and I'm working or everything. But it's a mix of emotion, and I'm luckily surrounded by such people who are supporting me throughout, you, Natalia, and everyone in the PTV. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah, obviously your work family is also there for you. But I
Obviously.
understand moms are moms.
Moms are
Obviously
moms.
She's going to be worried, and I'm sure she's going to make sure that Varda is keeping her up with her sleep schedule, her eating schedule, and everything like that.
Exactly.
But obviously, I always say this, that people who are not from Islamabad and who are from outstation, and Eid certainly for them is a time to go home. But I
Exactly.
understand it's been difficult for Varda Adil Jahangir this time around, but I'm sure she's going to get used to it. That's how PTV is. But also joining us happens to be another very fantastic colleague. She's had a great career trajectory as well. She's very, very professional about her business. And whenever she's doing the news, she's certainly doing it with great pride and honor. And we're very lucky to have her on the show as well. Joining us is Miss Natalia Bakir, our colleague as well. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak.
Walaikum assalam and Khair Mubarak. Thank you very much for introducing me like that. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much for joining us. We're very excited that we've got the next generation of PTV anchors with us. So, first of all, how has Eid been so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. Eid is always amazing and exciting for me because it makes me really happy. It's something, coming straight from Allah Almighty, a gift to the whole Ummah. So it's always really exciting for me. I'm always very, very hyper and energetic when it comes to Eid. But when it comes to work, working on Eid day is something we can never, it can never be normalized. It's something, every time it's new. I was working on Eid al-Fitr as well, but when Eid al-Azha came and now we're working, we have duties and shifts. So it's still so shocking and so, something we are not getting along with. So yeah, but it was going good.
Well, all our colleagues at PTV are fantastic, but I'll just let these young ones know a little secret, So I used to volunteer when I was doing news. I was working as a newscaster only. So I used to volunteer to do the news on Eid because I wanted my colleagues outstation to go and enjoy their Eid. Obviously,
Oh,
they have
that's
their
so
families.
good of you.
That was good of me, but what happened is that automatically the organization decided he's the one to go to on Eid. So I was there every time.
This happened with me today. In fact, some days ago when they were scheduling and they did not ask me that are you free on Eid, they had an idea that she's free, she'll be here. Schedule her.
No, I think that's good, but I've certainly done that because I always believe people who are from outstation,
Yeah.
they deserve to celebrate Eid with their
For
families.
sure.
So next time I'll volunteer again so Varda can go. So I'll take her place as well. But
would be
Dr.
so
I think,
nice of you.
yes, the first question has to be that Wajih Zahoor Saab has announced very proudly that he's been able to balance it on Eid days. Is that authentic?
Yes, we both try to balance. Because I'm also working lady
Absolutely.
and I'm a doctor and I'm a gynecologist. I have to work 24 hours by 7. I have no leave like this that I say to the patient that I'm on leave. I will not deliver you. I will not come to see you. I can't say this. Na? So he is there, always welcome me and always appreciate me, always help me to manage my time. And in my time, he'd look after the kids. This is very important thing. I think
Absolutely.
he give time to the kids in my absence. That's very big thing and appreciating thing from
Absolutely.
his side for me.
Absolutely.
Because for our profession, we need someone to support us. In our parents' home, our parents, our father, our mother, they support us. But in after marriage, it's husband support
Absolutely.
that makes the woman shine.
Absolutely succeed.
So
you know.
today I'm shining star because all of this.
Wonderful.
his
Look
efforts.
at you blushing. Look at you blushing. I mean, what is Usha is passed with flying colors, and he's actually given us the statement that behind every successful woman there's a man as well. So I mean, congratulations, sir.
So
Thank
true.
you
We
very
need to
much.
know the secret ingredient, for all men out there right now.
I think it goes both ways, and my success in business and my success in basketball has only because of her support. We support each other. We understand both of us have commitments, but we try to find time for each other. And when we do, we spend it with each other, with our kids, and we have dedicated a day, one day in a week, where we do not do anything. That is a time when we spend it with our family. My mother's there, she's there, and my kids. So I think it works both ways, and it's not just that I have supported her; she has supported me a lot, and all of my success and all of my accomplishments are because of the support that I have gotten from her.
Wonderful.
So I think Eid is all about support and blessing and being a part of this whole family that we have and our culture, and especially in our religion. So Eid days are all about family
But
and
certainly,
support.
but for people like you and Dr. Sahiba who are working parents as well, Eid does become even more special because that is that one time in the year that all of you can get together. So I think that's also special. Obviously, the kids are busy with their educational routines and everything.
And you're right. Last year, it was quite unfortunate that I was not in the country on Eid ul-Fitr, and at the time of Eid ul-Azha, I took my mother for Hajj. So both of the time, last year, I was not here with my family. But this year, on Eid ul-Fitr, we had an amazing time with the family, and even right now, we're having an amazing time. My sisters are coming over with their kids, so we have a big family get-together planned for tomorrow. So this is a joyous time for the family.
Absolutely, and that's the way it should be. And I'm so glad that in our part of the world, most families are still keeping up with the traditions of huge family gatherings. Otherwise, it's a bit sad as well that some of those traditions are now slowly fading away. As we used to have Eid cards, not anymore. Things are changing. But I'm still glad that there are families who tend to gather everyone around at one particular household and celebrate Eid generously. And I think that's the spirit and that's the way it should be as well. But I think the most favorite question, Varda, has got to be that are you an animal person when it comes to Eid?
Yes, I am. But I'm more into the meals.
So you're a meat person.
I'm a meat person.
Alhamdulillah, thank God. Yes. Otherwise,
I'm already missing
otherwise
the payas,
the city would have killed
kebabs.
you
Oh.
if you weren't. So yeah.
Because
Right.
I'm already missing my the kitchen and the aroma of biryani and the payas, the kebabs and everything. And my Nihari, obviously, my brother just texted me that I'm missing my personal chef right now. Okay, so it's been amazing, and obviously I'm missing that
Wow.
specific thing. About
Wonderful.
My city.
I'm sure you are as well, Natali, or is it the other way?
Yes, extremely. I love meat. Why is the Eid happening? It is because you need to
Every
eat.
Eid ul-Azha, we've got ladies who have actually said otherwise. So I'm
Really?
glad finally we have someone.
No.
Yes.
We are very traditional Pakistanis, and we love the paya, halim, and nihari. And oh my God, I'm already hungry. There's no point of Eid, without
if you're not
having
eating,
a
yeah.
full dining table, filled with meats and sweets. How can you forget sweets?
Obviously.
Laddu,
The day
chandam,
starts.
gulab
The day
jamun.
starts with sweets.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
The
It's-
beshiri and
nothing can be, you know, but nothing is.
With the balance.
specifically.
Dr. Saiba stepped in. She said, "Keep the balance."
we will, but I guess after the Eid day ends.
Yes.
We get a lot of emergencies.
But we should
Oh,
have a cheat day.
and we deal with them.
But
Well-
here is another very important factor. Meat is an essential part of our religion.
Yes.
If we look at our religion, we look at the Prophet Muhammad's life, we see all of these scriptures that tell us that every time something was being celebrated, they had meat.
Meat. Yes.
So being Muslim, it's not just about being Pakistani, it's about being Muslim.
Yes.
Meat is an essential part of our lives.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And Dr. Saiba can just say it's good business.
Yeah.
but I guess, traditional foods vary from city to city, and all of them are meat oriented, but there's so much diversity as well. But I think let's obviously come to the first religious obligation, which is the buying of the sacrificial animal and then sacrificing it and then taking care of it. And I think it's a very, very thorough process which over the years has been passed on to generation. So, Mr. Rogers, I'm sure you'd remember your early days when you were, a young boy going to buy that animal to a point now where you have to take that decision. How has it evolved over the years?
Well, we would go with our father, look for the animal, and usually hear things about looking at the ears and the teeth, and if the animal is full, and then we would bring the animal and we'll take care of it. The most important part in our childhood was feeding the animal, taking care of the animal, and then on the last day being gloomy about it and crying about it that we've cared for this animal. These days we bring animals just 4-5 days before Eid, but in those times when we were young, we would get the animal at least 15, 20, 30 days earlier. A couple of years ago, my mother brought 2 little goats, very small sized, maybe 2 to 3 months old, and then we raised them for almost a year before we sacrificed them. And everybody in the house, my kids, they were very gloomy because and I think the whole idea of
Yes.
sacrifice is that part where you develop the affiliation with the animal and then you follow the sunnah of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and the religious obligation that is there is that feeling that comes in that you're sacrificing something that you love. And these animals, they with the passage of time, they become a part of your family.
Absolutely. And that's the whole point. That's why I advise people don't, go for the buying a day before. At least buy a couple of days before, so your family, your children can actually
Enjoy
develop
the
that
whole-
emotional attachment.
The whole festivities of that, taking care of the animal and feeding the animal and bringing chara and all, and so that is the activity, and we learn a lot from it.
Absolutely.
Those days our kids used to play with them. The little one take his board there and ask the goat to say A for apple, B for ball, and we make movies of that, and now we show them that what you did.
What you were doing. I mean, imagine the emotional attachment, to a point where you're teaching them, A, B, C, to a point where you're then cooking and eating them. I mean, it's a strange feeling, but it's obviously like what Saab said as well, that the culture really defines it, and that's the whole point of it as well. Feeding the animal, catching it if it run away, which happens very frequently in Pakistan. Every now and then you hear an animal has run away and go and get it back. So these kind of things keep happening. But Vardatul Jangi, your family is particularly, is it a goat person or a cow person? Because I understand in that part it's mostly a cow.
Both. They love both.
Okay.
So we always bought one cow and one goat.
One
So
goat, right.
My Abba loves goat actually, because his Abba loves goat
Okay,
actually.
so the traditional love for
the traditional
goats.
love we got.
So
from
were
them.
you okay with the petting the animal, feeding
Yeah,
them?
completely fine. My Abba made me this much strong that I used to feed them and I used to go and pamper them and look after for their meals thrice a day. So Abba used to call me and said, "Ke just go and check them out and look at them. Ke are they okay? Are they fine?" So I'm
But that's
quite
good.
fine with that.
Strong ladies today on the program. I think it's great. What about you, Miss Bucket? What has been the tradition there?
Well, I think I have missed this part of my childhood with where the animal would come home some days ago, and I'll develop some emotional attachment with it. I would still develop the emotional attachment for my neighbor's goat, but not for mine because it was just bought some hours ago to our home, and it would be like. आ गया बकरा देख लो, and then उसके बाद it just
It was
got
gone.
sacrificed, and then there were only kebabs
And then
and pies and
it was
stuff.
खा लो बकरा देख लो.
देख लो खा लो. So like okay, so yeah, I missed this part, and it was because both of my parents are working,
Yeah.
and then the life in city is quite
Different,
fast,
yeah.
and it's quite difficult, and it does make you you cannot follow everything when you're living in city, and both of your parents are working, so that bakra thing did not fit in their schedule, and so we missed this part. But yeah, we used to have a bakra at the end of the day, and the kebabs and stuff, so that was the whole point.
No, but that's also an emotional attachment that you're loving that piece of meat on the table and you're just saying, come to me.
That is a
I'm just
crazy
waiting.
emotional attachment. We wait for that, for whole year that, you got sacrificed some hours ago, okay?
Yeah, I'm just waiting, come near, come as close as you can. Yeah, that's just beautiful. Like I said, that's the whole part of enjoying Eid as well. And I understand there's lavish barbecues and there are giant feasts that are happening, and it's just so
Exactly.
special that they're devouring each and every part of that meat in a different way. So I think that's just special as well. But Dr. Saiba, growing over the years, transforming into a young child all the way to a professional is a whole lifetime that changes and evolves. So how do you remember Eid growing up as a child and to the way it's evolved now?
In childhood, we used to go to village where we already had a cow over there, and we love to play with the few days before Eid we go over there, and we love to play over there, and we have mehndi, we put on the mehndi, bangles, and girls have Eid like this. And we wait for our cousins that they will come on Eid day, then we will cut the meat by ourselves, and there will be make barbecue, and then we will enjoy it. But now we have there is a hustle bustle. We have to finish the work in time. We are waiting before any emergency arrive. We have to finish the everything
distribution
in
part, yeah.
distribution in time. It should not get late. We have to manage everything properly. So after that, we have to plan for barbecue. That now our schedule is free for this day. Now we will do barbecue on this day. So
Well,
there
it's
is planning now.
Interesting. Oh, it's become very organized
Yes.
for Dr. Sahib and her household. But obviously, men obviously take care of a different side of that responsibility as well. Then we go to distribute it all the way from buying the animal. But over the years, it has evolved. Is
Yes.
there anything particularly that you miss about it the most growing up?
I think one of the most important things was that when we were young, we had all of these family relatives and cousins and uncles who would come to our house and meet our parents and our grandparents especially. Since my grandparents were the eldest in the family, so everybody was obligated to come and meet them at least when they bring the meat. So we would get to meet everybody. And then with the passage of time, now that we are of that age and our grandparents are no longer in this world, my father is no longer in this world, so it feels a little different when we have to take up those roles. At that time, it was more of an enjoyment. Now it is enjoyment, but at the same time, it is the responsibility that we have to distribute the meat. We have to go to one house, second house, third house,
And
and then
your
come
father's
back. Yeah.
responsibilities are now your
Yeah,
responsibility.
they are transferred, and then we miss our parents and grandparents who are no longer in this world. So the whole part, it is a mix of emotions. We are excited that we are celebrating Eid with our kids, but at the same time we miss the fact that our grandparents were there, and that love is no longer available.
But with your sport as well, has there been an occasion where, because I want to know about the camp or any tournament. Obviously, right now there is one coming up, as you mentioned to me before the show as well. But has there been, a point where you have immediately a camp or during that, or is it all easy for the players during this time?
We try to organize things in a way that we spare this time for the players. When we organize camps and we organize championships, and obviously when there are international championships, we talk to the organizers. Obviously, there are a lot of non-Muslim countries that are playing basketball. So we tell them that this is a time to be with our families, and every religion has their own occasions and their own
Festivals,
celebrations.
yes.
So they understand and they are very accommodating towards it. This whole championship that is happening right after Eid, it was supposed to happen before Eid. But Maldives, because Maldives is hosting it, so them and Pakistan and Bangladesh, we decided that let's
Have
do
it
it
after
right
Eid.
after Eid, because we have another international schedule to complete. We have to make sure that we have the teams that have to qualify for the Asian Championship, which is coming after a month. Those teams are ready. So we have to manage. But again, these festivities, Eid, Eid ul-Adha and Eid ul-Fitr, they are very important, and we try to do it in a way that we give time to our players and our coaches to spend it with their families.
Absolutely, and I think that's the way it should be as well. That organize it in a way that the balance still remains there, because these days now the pace of life is too fast, and the only thing required is balance, which is an essential part of it as well. But like I said, that the most beautiful part about it, Vardadul Jahangir, is the fact that we've got great family gatherings, humongous family gatherings, and I know you particularly belong to a city that is absolutely welcoming. So considering that culture in Sialkot as well, what have the traditions been in your house?
Well, we used to live in a joint family system, and it's been a great gatherings all the time, and not specifically on Eid, but before and after. There's always specifically on the weekends. There's one main great, you can say, get together at the home, whether it's our place or someone else, like pupos or tayas. So we used to get together a lot, and sorry.
So was everybody bringing one dish and cooking, or was it the
No.
responsibility?
We have to cook
Okay.
all the meal.
So
all the
you,
time.
since you really proudly mentioned that you cook as well, so I mean you're already a fan of it as well. But not only your brother, that means that you get extended requests to cook something as well, doesn't it?
Especially the biryani, that like keema and the biryani. These are the two main things which I am expert in. I can call myself expert in both.
No,
both of the
we will
things.
be the judge of that. Natalia is
We
smiling.
will surely try. This Eid, you have to bring that biryani and
With
keema
my-
for us.
With my utmost pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
But
utmost-
because she's away from the city, we'll provide the meat and the keema.
For
right?
sure, we
Okay.
will. But she
Okay,
has
you
to be
guys
the
are
cook.
taking care of this.
Yes, as soon as I started this question, Natalia was smart enough to understand where I'm taking this. And she immediately grabbed the opportunity, and that's what I wanted.
You'll
as well.
always find me interested when it's
When it
about
comes to
food
food.
and it's about sweets.
Yes.
You'll always be like, I'll be like hearing, okay.
Okay.
It's they're talking about food and they're talking about sweets. Both of
But
them.
since, like I said, since he proudly announced it, now we'll judge that, won't we?
We will for sure.
Obviously.
We
Why
will.
not?
Yes.
Why not?
So we'll start a breakfast. We'll have 3-course meals that we'll
No, we were
and
just talking about the biryani and keema.
Okay, that's it.
That's
Well, what she's going to do now, she's not going to mention anything else. She now understands where this has gone, so she's going to keep
Whatever
the,
is mentioned has to be cooked and served.
the rest of the dishes she's going to keep secret. But what about your tradition? What's the go-to dish, and what's the gatherings like?
Well, the go-to dish is the pie and then the mutton kadai, mutton pulao, because my mother is from Punjab, and yakhni pulao jo hota hai, uske baghair no Eid
No Eid,
cannot
We're
be
more into
considered.
muttons.
Yeah, we are more into mutton, and again, the most special part of Eid is being together with the family, and we again the city life, it does not allow us to go to some other place, to the relatives, to see how they're doing, what they're doing. So it's only the occasion of Eid when we get that chance of sitting together and see what has been happening in Popo's house and what has been happening in Khala's house. So yeah, you get all the gossips.
Well, interesting. I mean, and I'm glad she said yakhni pulao as well, and she specifically mentioned mutton. Look, I know some people who deserve to be prosecuted criminally for eating chicken on Eid al-Azha.
Oh my God.
I know certain people, and I think they deserve to be criminally prosecuted.
I agree. I agree. Who eats, chicken instead of meat,
I mean, I'll forgive
mutton?
someone if they're having vegetable, but not someone who's having chicken on Eid
No,
al-Azha.
I agree with you. That has to be done. Criminally prosecute.
Yeah,
Yes.
criminally prosecuted.
Why would you have chicken? That's really bad. That's disrespect
Absolutely.
of meat.
Yes,
Goat.
absolutely. Of
No.
the goat as well. Yes, you're not understanding the whole point of it. So please put a ban on chicken in a couple
Eid
of days.
al-Azha is a whole vibe in itself. It's a whole occasion. It's a whole festival which has to be celebrated, and it should be celebrated with that religious fervor and the excitement and passion, and with food.
Absolutely.
Don't miss the food part, please.
Specifically with, about mutton and the beef.
It's
and
about
bio-
eating,
Yeah.
It's a Eid of
Yeah, if your
eating.
house is not smelling meat, then what is the house? I mean,
Exactly.
it's not the whole point. But Dr. Saib, what's the go-to dish now in the family that everybody's enjoying?
My kids used to eat mutton pulao, and my elder one, he loves kebab, chapli kebab,
Right.
beef. I cook them especially
So
for him.
both things are
Yes.
there on every. That's interesting, and I might not ask you if she's a good cook or not because I know there's only one answer to that. But it's really a good diversity. So one likes a pulao, one likes kebab, and what do you like personally?
Well, she was talking about keeping a balance, but she's an amazing cook, and she makes this amazing nihari.
Okay.
Yeah, and the barbecue, she's a barbecue expert. And
Which usually men are.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but she actually,
She's
I'm
too.
the one who,
She's
who
too.
actually does the grilling.
But marination
But
is-
marination is her speciality. And we have this tradition in our family. My mother has been a working woman. My grandmother was a working woman. But despite all that, they have been amazing cooks. So she takes her time in the morning to cook food before she goes to the hospital.
I really cook food by myself. Although I have 2 cooks at home, just for supplementary things to cook,
For helping, yes.
Yeah.
for helping and cooking
Cutting, yes.
chips or cutting the vegetables. But I cook the food for kids myself. The day I don't cook, the kids say we don't like it. It was not tasting like
Wow,
that.
how interesting.
Yeah,
Sab, I mean,
and it is the same. We can't eat the food that is cooked by the cooks.
you've been spoiled
yeah,
now.
yeah. So
My
it has.
husband take a bite and say, who
No,
cooked
no, who
the food today?
Yeah.
They both are
So her
complementing each
speciality
other.
is this marinating the barbecue and nihari. And every Eid we have this grand barbecue where my sisters, their children, all the family relatives they gather
But what's
up.
your favorite? Is it nihari or if you had to pick one of them? I know it's difficult, but what's your favorite thing that your wife makes?
Nihari.
Nihari. And you are a nihari person.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, someone who is enjoying food, I mean, now we're tempted to come home. I mean,
We have another candidate who cooks well, and
we'll judge
we
that.
have another chance. Yes.
So
There are-
we'll bring something over.
There are
We'll-
3 days can be
Yes.
distributed.
Absolutely. 3 days for 3 different dishes can be distributed.
Yes.
I would like that.
3 different chefs.
Chefs.
Yes,
Yeah.
So
well,
we-
we have
for-
to find one more.
Yeah, but for Dr. Saiba, we already have one day for nihari, one for barbecue, one for yakhni pulao,
Yeah.
and one for kebabs as well. So 4
Yes.
days now.
4 days.
But sir, you told me that you also cook.
Yes, I also.
So you
cook.
should also bring
Absolutely.
something.
I can. I'm-
3 chefs done. 1, 2, 3.
And what are you doing?
It's a
Just
full-on
eating?
party. I'm just doing the eating part,
But you're not cooking, right?
No, why would I?
No. Do you cook?
You guys have to make it and tell me that it's done. Come, have some.
No, but generally, do you cook?
Sometimes, yes.
And what's
But
your-
I'm not really good with the barbecue. But yes, the other traditional dishes I do.
You can.
cook. Yes, I can.
Yeah, so post Eid we can, she.
But when you have to eat it, you have to cook it. That's what I tell everyone. That
It's
you
a
know,
life skill.
It's a life skill, and it's regardless of gender. It's not about being a man or
Exactly.
being a woman. It's you have a tummy. You feel hungry. You should know how to cook. Please cook.
Not
WhatsApp,
depending
do you
on
cook
others.
as well?
No,
No,
not really.
WhatsApp is blessed to not cook. So,
And my mother and my grandmother and now my wife, they've
Wife,
spoiled
yes, they're
this
great
part
cooks,
of
so I
life.
know.
Yeah.
no,
Exactly.
obviously, but I
How
think for
beautifully
some
they
of
both
us,
are complementing each
Yes,
other.
but I understand. But for some of us, it's very, very, especially if you're a person like me who loves Gordon Ramsay, so
Yeah.
you have to cook. If you're not doing justice. But I think sometimes you tend to go in the kitchen, but with men is that they're always kicked out of the kitchen for making a mess.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you follow Gordon Ramsay, you got to clean up your workstation. Be very professional about it. So I always have a plan B career objective. In
That's one in 100 million men, Gordon Ramsay. No, they all create mess, so much mess.
No, trust me, I can't cook if my workstation is messy. I have to, if I'm cutting something, I'll dispose that first. Then I'll move on to the next thing until I've wiped it off.
It's you or Gordon Ramsay.
No, I'm, not. I'm sure there are many other talented cooks out there as well. But you know, all of us have had very, very interesting moments throughout Eid. And there's a tradition on Sports Extra as well that we ask you two important memories. One is one of your most, you can say your most favorite memory of Eid growing up. And likewise, we have a tradition of asking you the most embarrassing memory of Eid. You know, on Eid, things tend to happen which eventually become an embarrassment, and you're, trolled for the rest of your lives as well. So that's a tradition that we do on Sports Extra, and I'm honored to ask this question from all of my guests as well. But Dr. Saiba will start off with the best memory that you have of Eid, the best one.
Best memory, every Eid is a
Is the
beautiful
best
day.
one. But if you had to pick one growing up from childhood up till now, the best one.
When we cousins get together in the village and we used to have a barbecue by cutting the meat by ourselves, and no one is saying it's not to do this, not to do this. No, as me as a mother, not allow my kid to take up the knife and cut anything.
Right, so interesting two memories from the power couple that are here on the show. But of course, we move on to Miss Warda Adil Jahangir. Your best memory about Eid, one that you can pick out from so many.
I don't even have to think about it. On the very second day of it, there is a tradition that my father used to cook brain masala specifically.
Maghaz, as we say.
Maghaz,
Yes.
exactly. And he was a super chef, I can say. And that was the most beautiful memory of my life because he's not doing this anymore. And
God bless his soul, yes.
I mean, and the most embarrassing moment of the same memory is that half of my life I wasn't aware of that it's a brain masala. I thought it's made of egg. This is something made of egg. So I wasn't aware of that. So after a very long time, Abba told me that beta, it's not egg.
So all your life you kept on thinking it's an egg dish.
It's an egg.
And you ate
That's
it.
the most embarrassing moment.
No, you
What a
ate it.
disgrace
And
to
I ate
meet,
it.
Had you
honestly.
know its brain, you wouldn't eat.
No, I don't have a zero idea about it.
They couldn't even say dimag khati hai. She was always told that it's egg. But thank you. That was going to be my next question. So Warda thought, before everybody else embarrasses themselves, let me embarrass myself first. But I think it's an interesting one as well. Yes, Mr. Thalia, your best memory about it.
Well, the best one is, of course, the one in which the Eids we used to spend with our grandparents, specifically the maternal ones. Those are the child's favorite ones, So now my Nana has passed away. It's been like 7-8 years, and the Eids are not the same anymore. So when we were children and we were out there with him, he was a very friendly person. Regardless how elders are, usually when they get in certain age, they keep a little space, or they get angry or they get anxious. But he was a person who used to love kids, and specifically the girls. And he would just take us all, give us that little amount of Eid, and then take us in the groups into the car to the departmental store, and he would just say, okay, go and
crazy.
buy,
Go
and
crazy.
grab anything
and
you
we
want.
would have those baskets in our hands. छोटे छोटे थे हम, and किसी ने गरारा पहना हुआ है, and someone is wearing that frock, and someone has that maxi, and the heel is going idhar udhar, and everyone is just going for taking the chips, the chocolates and stuff, and then he would pay and take us home. And we would show to our parents that, see, we bought this. So it was such a beautiful memory. One person can make so much difference.
Absolutely, it does.
And he was a great person.
God
He
bless
made
him
it
as well.
such a
Well,
nice.
That's how grandparents are.
That's how grandparents
for
are,
those
yes.
those people who are lucky enough to spend time with their grandparents, they should always cherish, and even for you guys as well, cherish those moments if you're you're lucky enough to have them around. But let's move on to the most embarrassing one now, the best part.
I thought you have missed it.
No, no, I
You
haven't.
would ask
No, no,
me.
no.
Well, not exactly, but it should be like linked to Eid.
Yes, obviously. Something that happened on Eid which was very embarrassing.
I think when you're a child, nothing is embarrassing because
No,
your,
no, there is. There is.
your mothers make it more embarrassing by telling that ye hua hai. So there was this once I was wearing a gharara on a, I guess it was Eid al-Azha maybe, and there was an area which was really muddy. There was rain that specific day of Eid, and we were like running. And Mama had told me like 10,000 times,
Do
don't
not
run
do.
in those sandals. They had a little heel, and I was I guess 8 or 9 years old. I was like, no, Mama, I'm going and running and just going after the goats, going after the cows and stuff. My grandparents had a very big house, so they had a really big garden and a lawn, and they used to sacrifice some 3-4 animals. So they were all tied up there, and I was running in between them. You guys are gonna get sacrificed, I'll eat you up. And I fell. And the whole dress was ruined, and my mother, oh my god, she's a desi mother. She just, turns into a Punjabi mom like in seconds. And then the scolding, I cannot
And the best
forget
part is that she told you a million times.
that. Yes, she did.
And
I
once
did
mothers
not
are
listen.
proven right at this stage, then there's
Oh
nothing more
my
scary than a mother.
When they say don't.
Don't, yes. No, but you learn this law after a long time, you realize.
Yes.
At that time, you're just too rebellious enough to understand this. But trust me, when they say no, trust
No.
them. Trust their gut instinct, especially a mother's. But Dr. Saiba, any embarrassing moment you remember of Eid?
Yes, it was when I got married. It was my first Eid in my in-laws. And my husband bought a dress for me, and my mother also sent a dress for me. And this is your first Eid, you will have to get dressed up, and you will have to celebrate it, and we will come and this and that. And a day before, I heard that I am on call and I have to do duty for 24 hours in Benazir Bhutto Hospital. That time I was doing my training, FCPS training. So I was not able to refuse anything.
But
Then I
after
told,
that, did you end up wearing both those dresses?
yes, I did.
But the charm was out.
Charm of Eid was gone. First day is first day.
First day, that's very true. And I really, that's why I say doctors are superheroes. Most of us don't understand the human toll of it. And we're always, I've seen it in hospitals as well. People are very picky. Doctor Saab kahan reh gaye? What's happening? And trust me, they're superheroes. They're sacrificing so much for the well-being of their patients, and that's the oath that they take as well. Or just Zahoor Saab, embarrassing moment ever?
I don't think there was any embarrassing moment in my childhood, except for there was a devastating moment. Yeah, I was very devastated. And when I tell you about how it happened, I think you'll feel it. So when we are young, and Eid ul-Fitr is the day when we get a lot of Eid. Everybody gives you Eid. On Eid ul-Azha, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah. So there was one Eid, I think I was 10 or 11 years old when my birthday fell on the same day as Eid ul-Azha. I did not get any presents, neither I got Eid. And I was so devastated. Why did this happen? And it kept on my head for
Should
a
have
couple
celebrated
of
2
years.
days before.
But it was the same day. So we were not that grown up. So I was very devastated that
My
I did
goodness.
not get Eid and I did not get presents. So getting presents on your birthday and getting Eid, those are two different things.
Absolutely.
I mean, so my whole this
charm
whole
of a birthday
charm
fell.
of a birthday and Eid all was ruined because and unfortunately
But did you get a cake or not?
no. Yeah. So we got meat.
Meat, so we're cutting
Yeah.
meat.
We're cutting meat.
That's really, I really feel for Outsab. It's the same way now working people feel if a public holiday falls on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
So I understand how he feels now. But that's the case. But thank you very much to all of you for celebrating Eid with us as well. Like I said that, it's always special listening to so many great memories and diverse cultures as well. And I'm very, very honored to share my Eid with all of you as well. And
Thank
I
you very
personally thank you. In the end, just a very quick message you'd like to give out to people on Eid, Natalia.
Never make your Eid boring. Always celebrate because this is not going to come back. This time is never going to come back, and Eid has to be celebrated. Stop promoting this culture of, I am bored on Eid, I'm sleeping. No, this is something, this is obligatory. You have to celebrate it, be excited, be fun, and, celebrate it to the fullest.
Absolutely. Well, great message. Yes, Miss Vardadul Jahangir. Any message you'd like to give people on Eid?
Not specifically, but as I'm missing my mother and my family on this occasion, so I just want to say that I'm gonna come back soon home and be with you soon. And
And tell her that you are eating well. That's important.
I'm eating well. Amma, you can see me on screen, please.
No,
I'm not doing anything.
we'll give this message that Auntie, Natalie and me will make sure that she's
Don't
eating well.
worry, we will feed her.
That's
No
nice of
worries.
you.
We'll overfeed her if we have to.
I'll overfeed. I meant that. By feeding her, I'll
No, but the
overfeed.
doctor-
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, but the doctor said that you have to keep it in balance.
In balance.
We'll keep the balance. Don't worry.
Absolutely. Yes, Saud Saab, your message.
Eid is a festive occasion, and it has a religious aspect. And the most important fact is that it teaches us inclusivity. So do not forget all those underprivileged people who cannot.
Exactly.
We have to include them in our
Absolutely,
celebrations.
absolutely.
Let's not forget all those underprivileged people around us and make them a part of these festivities and include them.
Absolutely. Yes, Dr. Saiba, finally your message to people out there on Eid.
I want to give two messages.
Yes, please.
First, it is a festive occasion and it is related to sacrifice. So not only sacrifice the animal, sacrifice your ana for others also.
Absolutely.
Make good relationships with your family, make good relationships with your friends, have get together, and second message is that eat a balanced diet.
That's the
Okay?
doctor part of
Be,
it.
yes, be careful. Don't eat too much.
Too much.
Too much of everything is very
Right.
bad.
Right.
The
So most of
corners
us-
are on opposites.
Most of us are going to skip the second message. We're going to keep the first one. But thank you very much. Like I said, Dr. Sahib, I'm very, very honored that you joined us. Ojazur Sahib, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Vardadul Jahangir,
Thank you so much for
and
having
Natalia, thank
us.
you very much
You're
for
welcome.
joining the show. Thank you very much to each and every one of you as well for being such a special part of our PTV World family, especially Sports Extra. And we always get so many great people and so many great stories as well. At this note, we would also like to send out a special thanks to Serena Hotels for the beautiful environment that we're in. Celebrating Eid at Serena is always special. So thank you very much, Serena Hotels, as well. And I'm sure that the next 2 days for you are going to be equally exciting as the first day. Thank you very much to all of you. Stay blessed, and like our guest said, make Eid exciting, but enjoy it responsibly. Eid Mubarak to all of you. It's goodbye for now.